Just ensuring that everything is in order. Let's see who is here. Romualda, Hyacinth, no backseat for you today. Please come up front. Jacinta Banis, no giggling in class, please. Alvin Thomas, you look well studious today, Papa, but please do not help Nigel on the question and answer session. It is that time again. It is that time for us to connect some dots. We have been doing this for a while now, connecting dots. We have connected so many dots already, you know. So we have formed a huge pattern. We have done so much, you know, from 2026 to highlight stories of people who continue to make a significant contribution to national development, those residing abroad as well. So yes, we are ready. I'm just waiting for the tech on duty to put me on, or do I put myself on, Dean? What's happening? Put us on, Dean, so we can start officially. Tomorrow we'll observe International Women's Day, a big observance for women. To big up all women, wherever you are at this time, whatever it is that you do normally. You ply your trade, what you're involved in. Probably you can't do as much as you used to before. But we big you up in a big way. Just ensuring, I'm talking still because I'm ensuring that everything is in order so we can come on the live. People are already asking me, what's happening? Let's make it happen. Smooth sailing today.
Heavenly Father, creator of mankind and the universe, we thank Thee for the gift of life today and all the blessings You continue to bestow on Your children.
We seek Your presence and intervention throughout this program, and we ask that You keep us connected always.
We also pray for the success of the program, its coordinators and listeners, that they may find purpose and enjoy what we share.
Bless our radio station and the nation, and may we grow to love and unite with each other, irrespective of our differences.
All this we ask in Your name, now and forever. Amen.
All right, here we are. Let's begin. So I was calling the register. I was asking Romualda to come up at the front. Romualda, Hyacinth, please come at the front. I don't want you at the back today. And I was telling Jacinta as well that there should be no giggling in the class. And Alvin, please do not help Nigel on the question and answer session today. Working. Sandra Norris and Winnie Green, get rid of the grafted mangoes that you have. Please, in fact, bring it for me. Let's make something happen. Look at Alicia Griffith and Gloria Walsh chatting. No boy. How are we? Yes, I call Carl Kofi James to ring the bell. No talking in class, please. We are ready. Nigel and Ivona. Nigel and Ivy. No boy, that's something good. Nigel and Ivy. We are ready to connect dots. We are ready. Let me see if Nigel is wrong. Then Nigel, come on while, please.
What's up, Ivy?
Nigel, boy. But where are you now? But look, I not seen you. I hear you. I not seen you.
You not seen me? You not
I
seen me?
seen you somewhere there. I seen you somewhere there. Yes.
You seen me somewhere. All right. Fix me up.
Let me fix you up there, man. Let me fix you up there. Yeah.
Yes. You seen me now?
Man, I seen you now. Bright and proper.
All right. Bright and yes.
You're cool and dandy like a 5 cents candy. Who said that? Who used to say that?
Who say, okay, so bright and not like a dandy?
No, you're cool and dandy like a 5 cent candy. Who used to say that on radio? I mean, come on, Nigel. If you don't get
Man, the big bosom body, yeah?
Okay, of course. Ted Daly used to say that. Cool and dandy like a 5 cent
Yes, yes. No other one like Ted
candy.
in your head.
Oh, yes, Ted
Do
in your
not
head.
go to bed.
I want to listen to Ted instead.
Yes. No one could have done it like him.
Yes.
So good morning, Ivy.
Yes, Nige. How you doing?
I am here, man. I am here. I'm doing well.
Yeah, but you look like a little
Feeling much
Tash there today.
I try something, so I feel a little better this Saturday.
Yes,
so
yes.
Doing well.
Okay, that's nice. That's
It's
nice.
good to connect once again, you know,
Yes,
and on this beautiful Saturday morning.
Yeah, man. I look forward to Saturdays. So, Nigel, yes, sad news greeted us again, you know, this week.
Man,
Not just once, you know. Sad news. In recent times, I don't know what is happening, you know. There's a wave of sad news. I mean, there's good happening as well, but there's a wave of sad news in recent times. And, of course, this massive fire in Roseau destroyed several buildings, Nigel. So that was really a bad start to the week for us. Yeah, happened late Saturday.
it was, and we certainly hope that, you know, those who are affected, you know, can see their way again and the recovery process. You know, thankfully, you know,
No lives,
no injuries in terms of, you know, persons, so no fatalities there. But I mean, having your business go down like that, when you're probably sleeping, or you know, you're waiting for the week to start, and then that happens, it can be, you know, a real shocker for you. So
and
continued blessings, man. Keep hold on, hold strong. Keep doing what we have to do, you know.
Yeah, and there were historical buildings, Nigel. You know, as part
Yes.
There was this place. I remember when I was a little girl. Probably I was 8 or 9, and my grandmother brought of blessed memory, obviously, bought a dresser with one drawer and a mirror next to the old market. So there was one drawer, I remember that well. A mirror on it, a little one, and you know, and a drawer with a knob. And underneath the drawer was painted in white and written in black with the words W. Edwards. And it was only long after I realized what W. Edwards meant, because he was the owner or proprietor of the business.
Yes.
So one of the places that went up in flames, Nigel. And so I was just telling myself that was creative labeling, you know, back in the day. So he would
that was how you branded. That's how you branded your items.
Yes.
You know,
Interesting.
very creative. You stamped that was a stamp then.
That was the stamp then. That's it. But just to drive, you know, in that area, or just to walk in that area, and see the mess, you know, that was created because of the fire. It's it's really sad. It's really sad.
It is. You know, but
Life
we're resilient people, man. We're resilient people. So you know, we look forward to the rebuilding again.
That is it, Nigel.
Yes. Yes, we look forward to that, you know.
And talking about sad news as well, Nigel, an 8-year-old pupil of the convent prep died suddenly at school. An 8-year-old boy. And I'm thinking, Nigel, what do you say to the parents? Because this is heartbreaking. And
it is.
Listening to the principal on the news, she could not hold back the tears. And if you know Miss Lawrence like I do, you will know that she has profound emotional depth, you know. So that's another sad story.
It is. I mean, you could just imagine, you know, I mean, you left home all good. And, you know, to get that call that your son just passed, you know.
Yes.
Such a young age. It's going to be tough for his classmates as well. You know, for the teacher, for the entire school, the parents, community. You know, it's really a tough one.
And I think what the students did is that they used chalk and they wrote on the school grounds. Like, I think they were playing, you know, at the time when the incident happened. I think probably he did not feel well and he moved from the area. They were playing dodgeball or something like that. And he moved from the area and he collapsed. And wow, it's so sad.
That's tough, man. That's tough. That's really, really, really tough, you know, to deal with. You know?
But being there for
Yes.
someone is sometimes choosing to or choosing not to say anything. Just be there, you know. So sometimes
Yeah, just know that,
yeah,
I mean, the comfort is there. You can do as much as you can and just let them know there's a shoulder to lean upon and thoughts and prayers and well wishes and everything else. But more importantly, that, whatever memories that he had there in the school will live on with the rest of the students that there, and they can do things in his honor and continue to do well in his name.
Yeah. So let's just be there for the
So
parents, sometimes in
you got to
silence.
be there.
Yeah, because you have to accept that words, though intended, they cannot reach certain depth. So just
Right.
sometimes the silence
Yep.
is
Yep.
just be there.
So you just offer that shoulder, man, and say, if you need it, I'm here.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Now the
Yes.
Caribbean, Nigel, of course, as we know too, is dealing with a lot these days. Some Caribbean
Man.
more than others. When you consider what is happening, I mean, there's a lot of turmoil in the world as well, Nigel. Wow, I mean, just listening to the news,
Yes.
and
It's
just waking up and looking at the television,
you.
it's a lot.
You turn around and you wonder
It's
what's up, man. What's
yeah,
going on? What's
what's
going on?
happening? There's a lot of
Yes.
turmoil, man, in the world, and
Too
just
much of that. Too much of
the
that.
ongoing conflict in the Middle East is it's alarming. It's alarming, and then you
Yes,
see,
as we say,
you see
until the
footage
day.
of schools, you see footage of hospitals, and landmarks, just being demolished. With it's just sad. It's just sad, and then you
Just war,
consider
man,
as
and
well.
nobody wins a war, right? Like
Nobody
singing
wins a
Sandra
war.
says.
Yeah,
Nobody wins a war.
man,
So
God.
we have to find a way of coexisting and being together and sharing what we have, man. And because nobody wins a war,
Man, I have seen a lot
But
and heard a lot in
as
that
our
as
great
well.
prophet says, until the philosophy which holds one race superior than another, and you can continue the rest. It'll always be
Nigel,
war.
I like that. One thing with you, we have some vibes. We connect, man. There's a frequency, man. That's nice, Nigel. That's it. That's
Yes,
it.
we connect the
Sometimes
vibes.
a
We
lot of
connect.
times for you to get the answers to some of the world problems, you have to go back to songs. But
You
songs
have
of
to.
people who knew how to write, strong.
Yes, the power of music and words, man. It's right there.
Boy. How good and
Right
pleasant
there.
it would be before God and man continue, Nigel, to see the unification and
Of
unity
all
souls,
mankind,
man.
Yes.
Cuba as well, Nigel, is
Until
going
there's
through.
no longer first class and second class citizens in any
Sad.
nation, and so on and so on,
Yes. Nigel,
Maybe even King Dice that says these are the
these are
days
the days
when
of
men have lost their
darkness.
ways.
Boy, Nigel, we can go on and on and on and on.
And on and on and on and
We have
on,
two men pally as our
Yes.
guests, so we'll give them a
And
chance.
Cuba as well,
Yeah,
and I
man,
mean, we
Cuba.
certainly hope the Caribbean countries can recognize what Cuba has done for us over the last how many decades and hold strong.
Nigel,
Hold
I was
strong, my
saying,
Caribbean people.
yeah, Cuba is grappling with fuel shortages, with blackouts, and
It's
this
terrible,
crisis
yes.
and that is exacerbated by the ongoing U.S. sanctions, Nigel.
Yes.
And,
Now is the
I
time for
don't
the
think
Caribbean, the rest of the
yeah.
Caribbean region to lend its hand now because Cuba lent its hand back then. Now it's your turn.
My goodness.
Don't turn back.
And Cuba is not asking for charity, eh? Cuba is asking for reciprocity. That is what Cuba is asking for.
That's what it is.
Yes,
That's what it is.
Yeah, we have to lend a hand. We have to lend a hand. I spoke to the ambassador, Cuba's ambassador to Dominica on Talking Point this week, Nigel, and it's really sad, what Cuba is going through.
What's going on in there? Yes, man, it is.
But
so from a pure humanitarian standpoint, let's help our sister island.
Cuba has done a lot for Dominica, especially in the health sector.
Oh yes. Yes.
But that's another topic. But Nigel, tomorrow we observe International Women's Day. By the way, when is International Women's Day?
Me with all you.
When is International Women's Day?
We go down protest.
I can't remember.
I go to start a protest and call all men to protest now because I cannot understand that. We don't even know the date for Men's Day, International Men's Day, much less to know what's happening.
But it's women that organize that in any case. So women are the forefront of everything. And even if there's a men's association, women are involved in every...
Well, that's a good thing about it. I mean, women always ensure that things run smoothly and we appreciate that, We have no problems with that, but we want our day as big too.
Okay, we'll ensure that it is big this year. We'll ensure. But yes,
right.
so we celebrate the day tomorrow, and the day draws attention to significant issues women still face the world over. So it's not all water, because there are a lot of things that still affect women, parenting, domestic violence. You can talk about sexual harassment and so many other things that continue to confront women. But yet we rise, and that's good.
Yes, you continue to rise. Still I rise, right? Yes. You have to. And we look forward to celebrating with the women and not only celebrating, but as you mentioned, all the various issues that still exist, that we can find a way to bring relief in whichever area we can, So happy International Women's Day to you as a phenomenal woman as well. So on behalf of the entire City family, we want to tell you, thank you for what you're doing. And continue having the power and continue rising others.
But Nigel, you forget who I am, man. Nigel, you're talking to me, man.
Yeah, you are talking to.
Come on, man. Anyway, let's move on. Anyone on the book, Nigel? Anyone on the book before we bring on our guests?
Oh, yes. I think very early, there were a few people who were very early, very, very early. So good morning to you, Delia Coffee Wicks, bonjour, tang, whatever that is, but that's German. Okay, good morning, Delia Coffee Wicks, another phenomenal woman as well. Louis Jean-Pierre out there in the UK, good morning to you. Appreciate you logging on and connecting with us as always. Jacqueline Stedman out there in Lapling, good morning to you. Hey, May, good morning to you, my dear. Happy International Women's Day to you as well. This is Melina Johnville. Let's see. Muriel Stewart, good morning. She was here early as always. She said good morning to you guys. Edwina London, always there from Houston, Texas. Good morning. And Judy Joseph, good morning. Renick Thomas wants to say good morning to Ivona John Baptist, who is a woman of color and power. So congratulations to you. Hey, Renick, yes, I agree with you as well. Alvin Thomas, good morning to you and the entire CTD family. Oh, by the way, don't forget, all SMA old boys. Remember that you have to be at the assembly on Monday.
You had to call SMA of this morning.
Yes,
as soon as I woke up, Nigel,
all SMA old boys. Please note that you have to be at the SMA on Monday for a special assembly. Yes. All right, the class of 75 will be presenting a check of about 15,000 plus to the principal and students.
We're going to charge you for that, eh?
Yes.
I woke up this morning, Nigel. Let me give you the story. I woke up this morning.
I'm going to say 10 more seconds and send me another bill for 10 more seconds. Monday, Monday.
Go ahead.
7:45.
You had 15 more minutes?
For the presentation.
You had 15 more minutes? I was saying, Nigel, I woke up this morning, and as soon as I woke up, before, the first thing I would take is my Bible or read my daily press. Why? I feel bad saying that. But anyway, after I say a little thing in my head, a fast prayer, I went for my phone, and I'm seeing the very first message, something SMA, and I was like, just no. Yes, sir. Anyway.
He was early this morning to let you know. Yes, Norrin Joseph, good morning to you. All the phenomenal women, good morning to you. Yes, I know daily, all you deserve it, take it. But we're not getting nothing for men. But it's all good. It's all good. We will be there. We continue supporting you guys. Without us, you're not really there. So we appreciate that. Alexis Simon, good morning to you. And of course, Jude Alexander, good morning. Liz, good morning to you. Another phenomenal woman. I know you're getting ready for your photography presentation. Good morning to you out there in Boston and everybody else on the YouTube section. Good morning to you. Thank you for connecting. Did I miss anybody? I might have, but let's see. There are a few others we might have missed out along the way, but good morning to everybody that's logging on now and connecting with us. All the CTD family, we appreciate you. I haven't seen Rosalind Severa McLean yet, so that's a problem.
She's always busy, Rosalind is always busy. Rosalind is
she's always on the run.
She's always involved in something, whether it's an exposition or she's dancing somewhere or she
always dancing.
She's always busy.
One thing with that.
Yes, she's always busy. But
yes,
anyway,
and Sandra Norris, we haven't seen you yet, Sandra Norris, but good morning to you. Detention for her, Sandra, because she's supposed to be here already.
Come on, man. We agree if these people are not on detention. Yeah.
Yes,
and we'll call them Chambers, yes. But Dominica Connor, now and let's bring on our guest quickly, Nigel. Right?
Let's go.
My turn, man.
Yes, your turn this time.
Boy.
Let's see if I can get the answer there.
Who was the first woman lawyer in Dominica? Does that make sense?
Who was the
first
woman lawyer?
Yes, and if
I
the
wonder if
guests
she was
know,
the
they can
first
answer
woman
too.
lawyer. I mean, I know Dame Mary Eugenia Charles was tough and everything. She could have been the first woman lawyer. So I'm going to go with that as my final answer.
I think you're
So I
correct.
hope,
Yes, I think you're correct.
yes, Dame Mary Eugenia Charles,
The
former
first
prime
woman.
minister and everything
Yes.
else. Yes.
Yes.
And Lennox, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But I think she was the first woman lawyer in Dominica.
Okay. Name 5 women who will be
So
honored tomorrow at the BPW award ceremony. Name 5 women.
okay, that one catch me. That one catch me.
Yes.
Help me, please.
Whoosh.
Help me, please. Normally, I know what happened to me this time. I didn't prepare for this one. But tell me someone, please help me with the 5 women that will be honored tomorrow at the event.
Okay.
Is that the same event that Marvel Williams will be the guest speaker?
Yes.
Yes. So we had Marvel last week and she'll be the guest speaker.
she'll be the
Who are the
guest
5 women? They catch me this time.
5
I
women.
always know the answer.
So which one do you listen to DBS News? Anyway, so move on to another questions quickly.
Yeah, man. I know one of them is going to be a doctor, Sure, man. Oh, you help me on the book then. Oh, good. Somebody just helped me. Yes, Dr. Vilma Lewis. Good. Dr. Lynn Drago. All right, that's 2. Or Lenora. Lynn Drago. Serena Simon. Thank you, Lexi. Serena Simon. Dr. Vilma Lewis. And Dame Eugenia. No. That's 4 already. I good?
Whoosh. Okay, one more. And if you don't get it in 5 seconds, we will move on.
I don't know, Luke John Baptist.
Well, that's what they say. Anyway, next question. Thank you.
You think I was just waiting to say the last one. You think I was going to leave that one out?
Next question.
Ducking, but yes, tomorrow we shall be saying thank you to Ivona John Baptist Lugie for her contribution to women and the rest of the society and in media and what she's done to blaze the trail for those who are coming on.
Okay. You have to say more?
Yes, thank you, Ivona. You've established a foundation in which other young ladies can continue to grow in the field of media. You started off, riding your bicycle to DBS, your bike, as a sports reporter, and you continued through the journey, through the news department. I remember in the early mornings you'd be there reading the news and getting everything sorted out and looking for news there, and then you moved on to host your show, and of course at one point you had a program on DBS on a Tuesday evening. You were the reggae queen and making sure that we understood the reggae music, and we appreciated that. And then following that, of course, eventually as a program director of DBS, you've ensured DBS continue to have local Mondays. You want me to continue?
Okay, stop. Next question. What's the name of the lady who lived on what's that street named, boy? Just by Jackson's. Yeah, that's Great Marlborough Street. I think it's Great Marlborough Street. So what's the name of that lady? She opened up her home to many people back in the day. She, people just stopped there and just talked to her, and she was a gentle lady. So she was close to children in particular who were attending school in Roseau. Here's a big hint. If you don't know the answer, she created a beautiful garden in the center of Roseau. And I always used to think, but how can somebody do that right in the concrete area, jungle sort of? What is the name of that lady?
Oh, my dearest mom.
Okay. Yes.
My dearest mama. Mama.
Yes. I note here.
Good morning to you. Looking down on me and looking down on us.
Yes.
There was a point in time when I mentioned my dear mama, the tear would come before the smile, but now the smile comes first before the tear.
That's it.
And that's because, that's because of the memories and the wonderful person that she was. So, Mama, thank you. You were a phenomenal woman. Thank you for blessing me with what you did and for instilling all the values in your kids. Reggie, Francis, and all of us, and all those Lees and Nicole and everybody else who came through your house, man.
And Nigel, I would bubble there with it. But Nigel, we just had to. I just had to bring this in, to just celebrate your mother.
Appreciate that. Yes. And I continue, and we continue to celebrate her, and for everyone who was touched by her. Thank you.
Jessica Roxanne Bruney came from what area in Roseau? Wait, I can't remember the name of the area, so boy, somebody have to help us say, oh, she'll have to tell us herself. In fact,
What, that Kuwait there?
Yes, what's the name of that place there? Jessica,
That's
you can't get it. You have to help us say, I'll put on your
Kuwait,
mic in a while.
That is a special
You know
Kuwait.
where, right? You know where?
But how you mean
Well,
if I know where now?
explain where.
That's a very special Kuwait that has its own history.
You know, I used to go to that Kuwait a lot, you know, when I was staying on Boyd's Avenue because I was very close there, you know, and I was best friends with Josepha of blessed memory. So we used to always go there. But what is the name of that area? I cannot remember. Whenever I try to remember the name of that area, Laku Setlang comes in mind. But Laku Setlang, I think, was in Newtown.
Yeah. And imagine, as you say that now, it just disappeared, you know.
Tell us.
That is not good.
Say that again.
Lakuzo wine.
Lakuzo wine.
Yes, Lakuzo wine. Yes.
Lakuzo wine.
Oh my God. Yes. I know Gloria is going to come for me because I didn't remember it. But yes.
Oh yes, we had Gloria as a guest already from that same area.
Yes. She's going to come for me because I didn't remember that name.
Last question.
It's all good.
Name 3 things that Natasha JERVIER-CARBON is well known for. Well, she's an all-rounder. Yeah, too bad guy, and you should understand why. But there are 3 things she's well known for. You can name them, boy.
3 things she's well known for.
At least 3, yes.
At least 3.
Yes.
Let me see, boy. Natasha is known for, well, apart from what she does currently, you know, I mean, making sure that our women are know what's best for them at the Planned Parenthood. Apart from that, let me see. Natasha is known for. Oh, you help me. Was she an athlete? Or she's involved in athletics? One or the other.
Well, you're on the right
but
track.
I know she was.
Yeah, you're on the right track. She
on the right track.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So
she's
athletics.
Very much involved.
All right.
Yes.
Kisa, you waiting for your reply? The nonsense that there. Someone is just telling me that as well. Athletics. What else?
The last one.
One thing, the class not paying attention. They're not helping me quick enough, man. Normally you help me very quickly. What's going on with you guys in the class? What else is she known for very, very quickly? I know athletics for sure. Well, of course, I mean, the youth empowerment. She used to be, was she in the youth council or something? But youth development.
Yes.
That's free?
Yes. Yeah,
have to give you more?
Yeah, there's a lot more, but we're going to find out from her.
There's plenty more, but I mean, you asked for 3, I gave you 3 already.
Yes, you gave me 3.
Why are you making my question so hard this morning?
You're good, Nigel. For today, I'll give you about 30%. Nah, you're good more. You're much more than that. But it's time to bring on our guest. I think we are too much. We're pally, and people are waiting.
I know.
Anyway, so on the eve of International Women's Day, it's our pleasure to celebrate 2 women. I mean, we can celebrate so many women, and we have celebrated a lot already, yeah? But I distinctly put this into thought that these 2 women, we should have their stories, you know, on Connecting the Dots. Long ago, I thought of bringing on Jessica years ago, and it did not happen, but look, it happened now. But the list is very long as it relates to bringing women stories before. Jessica Bruney has a powerful story to tell, and Natasha JERVIER-CARBON can probably write a book in 2 days. And I truly hope that these powerful life stories from these 2 Dominican women will offer profound lessons on family bonding, on resilience, on leadership, and on the power of, how I'd say, personal transformation. So let's bring them on, Nigel. Drum roll. Nigel, do something. Let's do something.
You know, I had my drum. I leave it downstairs. I see this morning. I'm gonna make sure I beat my drum. That's not good.
We still have
because I say for the women, I want to make sure I have my drum for the women. You know.
Yeah, we still happy to. We still have your work. Do something.
Kisa, do something.
And if you remember that song?
Welcome, ladies. What can I do for them? Bring the drum. Kisa?
Nigel, you went to primary school, right? You remember that song? Whenever I feel afraid, I hold my head erect, I whistle a happy tune. What's the rest again?
Why do you remember that?
Anyway, and no one will
You expect me to remember that now?
Anyway, let's bring them on. Let's go to Studio 2. Good morning, ladies. It's a pleasure to have you on. Jessica, Lacuzo Wine. Anyway, we'll hear more about that. Welcome, Jessica, to Connecting the Dots. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, and I hope it will be a pleasure having me.
All right. Of course, it will be a pleasure having you. I know you have plenty of stories to tell. You're not easy, you know. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Ivan, and good morning to our Dominican listeners. Hi, Nigel.
How you doing, my dear? Good morning to you. When you say Jessica, it's something fun, you know. As if it's Jessie, I know, but Jessica Membalela, same thing. Yes, but good morning, my dear Natasha. How is everything going? Everything is going well. You're ready to tell us your story, your journey, and everything else, right?
I'm actually trying to remember my story, you know.
It will come.
Don't worry. I will have a wish that make you remember the story as well.
Yes.
So we will help you remember your story, where it all started and everything else. But even before we begin the journey and the story, we want to say Happy International Women's Day to you, both of you, when it comes around tomorrow.
Thank you.
I mean, we want to celebrate you and tell you thank you for everything that you've done and continue to do. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we'll begin.
Right.
How do we begin?
Who do we start? Who do we start with?
We can start with seniority.
Seniority, which is what?
Well, more than
To the right or to the left?
Yes.
I bow to my seniors.
So yes, my dear Jessie, tell us. First of all, what part of Dominica are you from?
Well, good morning once again to everyone listening to the sound of my voice, and I want to thank you. And you know, I like to be honest. I almost ducked out, you know, this morning.
What, this morning too?
Yes, this morning. Yes, I almost ducked out this morning.
No boy, Jesse.
So I'm just Jessica ROXANE Bruney. I was born and raised in the heart of the city. La Villajol, La Wine, Botanical Gardens. I come out in the heart of the city by Stephans. If you know that landmark, Mersons, that's the convent prep. That is my landmark in that area of Roseau. I raised up. Right in the heart of the city, where the action was always arts. Yes, that's where my life story began.
Nigel, we stay
Villajol. Yes, that's because it's right across the police station, right?
Yes, when I grew up, it was the police station, the prison, and the psychiatric unit all in one whole.
When you grew up, it was okay. Your area was the police station. Well,
where the police station is. There was the prison and also part of the psychiatric unit. They were in the same locality.
Okay. Wow.
That's not
I
how
can
they
just
put
picture that area, you know, Nigeria.
3 in 1.
3 in
3 in 1.
3 in 1. I can picture that area because I remember there was this tall lady. I think she had some mental issue, and she always used to sleep in that area where the immigration department is now, and the police station.
It's in that house I raised up.
Ah, okay.
That was my grand aunt.
Okay, so let's go, Nigel. Let's unearth the stories.
We're going to unearth the stories from there. Yes. So of course, growing up in that area, Jesse, one would imagine that there used to be a lot of activity going on. A lot of stuff used to be happening. I could really imagine that, right? And I'm going to say imagine that as if I'm not from that area. I'm just going to, so you can tell the story, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of activity would have been going on in that area. Do you recall some of the stuff that was going on?
Nigel, just before you answer, you say you're from that area, right? You have an affinity with that area, or you're from that area for sure?
No, well, Roseau, you know. So that's not my story, man.
I can say the same as well because I was a neighbor as well, you know. So okay, Jessica, go ahead.
So that area was, you could call it the heartbeat of everything, because my house, my grandmother, Rosetta Martin of blessed memory, she had this open door policy. Her door was always opened. So if you go in by, if you're from Loda, Mount Prospect, Trafalgar, Watson, Wavern, anywhere in the valley area, and you went by Astafans to shop, and you wanted to go down by ACS, you came and you left your bag there. The steps was the steps for everybody. You tired, you want a glass of water, you go by Marosetta. You forget, the truck left you down, you went to the police station, police would come and knock on the door. Marosetta, Nigel missed his truck last night, he haven't got anywhere to sleep. So you came, you slept, you ate, you left next day. So I was always in an environment where people was always in my face, whether I wanted or not. That is where NC wrote most of his songs, right on that step with his little box. Harlem, Kensborough, Conversations. That was where they started till they moved on to the Windsor Park. So I was always in people's business, whether I wanted to be or not. I always knew things, whether I wanted to know them or not, because my house, in front of my door was the place to be before work, during work, after work, and on the weekends. There was always an influx of people of every race, color, creed, and class. There was no exception, no distinction. Everybody was welcome. So that is the core of who I am. Accepting whoever, wherever, however. That's just me.
In fact, that step, Nigel, that step always had people. Well, still, people always, go on that step and sit and have a conversation. Very important, area in our history. Very important. So, Nigel, we continue with Jessica still, or we go?
Well, let's get a little bit of Natasha, and then we go back to Jess's story, because now we know the area that she's from and what used to happen there. And, of course, being a King George District boy myself, I have a general idea of what used to happen there as well. Yes, I will. That's why I was raised formally King George District before I moved to Kennedy Avenue.
Okay,
so, Natasha, what part of Dominica are you from, my dear?
So, ironically, this morning I had to call my dad before I came here to confirm.
Big story.
So on my way, I said, Daddy, they're going to ask me. So just tell me for sure, because I want to make sure when I give this story that I can say exactly where I'm from, and I can say it the correct way, because where I remember being from is Silver Lake. And then he was able to confirm, yes, baby, you were from Silver Lake. So I was born into Silver Lake and grew up out of Dominica, because I left Dominica very, very early, very young. But my memories as a child were from Silver Lake. My dad is from Kingshill, but I'm actually from Silver Lake.
What can you remember about Silver Lake? What stays on your mind?
So, Marie Brûlé, Pirate. I'm not sure if you remember these two individuals. So I always tell people, Marie Brûlé children were my friends. So these are the people I ran kawat with in Silver Lake. The river, I almost drowned in there once. I remember the experience of almost drowning. And these were the memories I have of my biological mother. So the only memories I have of her were my time spent in Silver Lake.
Silver Lake.
Yes.
I like that. Nigel, I just love that program, because we get to learn so much. And as she mentioned Silver Lake, I remember as a young broadcaster, I did a production in Silver Lake. That was very long ago, working on the news desk with Curtis Matthew long ago. And I went to Silver Lake, in that big yard, and everyone was there. It's not my story to tell. But I'm happy that you mentioned Silver Lake, as part of your upbringing. So we're going to...
As part of my foundation.
Your foundation.
Not just the upbringing, but the foundation. So for me now, everything I do, I want to be remembered as that little girl who came from Silver Lake.
And where did that little girl move on to after Silver Lake?
Oh boy, that's a story. I left to go to, I think it was Guadeloupe, and then I got to St. Martin, and then I settled in St. Lucia for a few years before I came back home.
So you were island hop, what?
I was island moving. Something.
And you came back, when you came back to Dominica, you went back to Silver Lake?
No, I came back and I went back to Stock Farm because Stock Farm again was our base. So that's where my siblings grew up. That's where my stepmom was. That's where my daddy spent most of his time. And so between Kings Hill and Stock Farm, that's basically where, at 17 years old, that's where I built my foundation from there.
Interesting.
Yes. By the way, I think somebody was telling us earlier when you mentioned Mary Bruley, her last name is Williams, Mary Williams. But of course, we all know her as that,
Yes.
And I mean, hey, Mary had a story to tell too, So, of course, Silver Lake, and you remember going to Underpower and almost drowning and all the rest of it. You remember running around, just having fun in that general area, right?
General area, yes. And going to Teacher Rose Preschool. So I remember our walk from Silver Lake to preschool. So that's the one area I knew in Roseau, Teacher Rose Preschool.
You remember that area?
You remember anything you said in preschool? You remember a nursery rhyme from preschool?
Not a thing.
Teacher Rose?
Not a thing. I just remember the name.
You don't remember a nursery rhyme?
No. I don't know.
What about you? What about you, Jesse? You remember a nursery rhyme from preschool?
No, I do not remember nursery rhymes, but I remember games that we would play in St. Martin's schoolyard.
Let's talk about some of those games. What
was one of those games I used to play?
And categories and those things there, right?
Categories, names of, and there is this song. I remembered one year this child came from America, and in those days you didn't used to interact so much with people coming out from overseas, and then during break time, I don't know who made up the song, but it was like, when I was in America, nobody didn't want me for friend, but now I am in Dominica. Everybody want me for friend.
Oh, that's how it started.
Yes, that's how
I remember that song.
Yes, yes, because this child was there, and it's like, everybody was like gravitating towards her because she was new, she was accented and talking different from all of us, and I don't know who came up with this, and all of a sudden there was just a whole ring game going on. And that stayed on and just become part of
on the spur of the moment we would just
part of the play life.
Women, the young girls in particular, on the spur of the moment would just come up with songs, just anything that was happening. What path did you choose though, Jessica, to go to school? Did you pass in the Kuwais, or did you go through the King George V Street, or did you go up the Virgin Lane area, Bath Road and Virgin Lane, swing into Virgin Lane?
I took all the paths. It depended on what was happening on the day. Fridays was the Constitution path because that is where all the things were happening, so you wanted to be in the things. When I had things to do, I would go down in the Kuwe, run in the Kuwe to get to school on time. I would go through the Kuwe. To get home, I would pass in front on Bath Road in front of Convent Prep because you want to see other children, but when you want to be in the who fighting or who going to do what after school on a Friday, it was to go down Constitution Hill. Yep.
But that hasn't changed.
What was it like in St. Martin Primary? I mean, did you get, apart from the songs and the ring games?
St. Martin Primary School, it was, again, it was a foundation for me, but at the time it was not relevant. It was just like going to other schools. But as I got older and realized where I was going and how my brain started working, because upon Sunday I was at an activity and I said to them, I'm going to say something here. There was a game going on and you had to say something. Just say anything. And I say, I'm going to say something, and some of you all are going to look at me real funny. And everybody was like, oh, here she goes again. And I wanted to be a nun. Like a masse.
You wanted to be a nun?
Yes, I wanted to be a nun. I actually wanted to be a nun, and I have thought of it For many years, even after I had my child, I still wanted to be a nun.
Oh. What impressed you about the nuns, being a nun?
It's not what impressed me. I think it's the whole unconscious, I would have to say unconscious. But as a teenager, after I left high school, my grandmother, Rosetta Martin of blessed memory, I'm going to say things here today that I might get called out for, or some people might be upset, but it's my truth.
But you wouldn't be calling names.
It's my story. I could go anywhere I wanted. Go warehouse on a Saturday night box, wherever I went. I would come back home and she would be sitting at the back of the closed window. And as soon as she hear my key, she would say to me, you can go wherever you want. But remember, today is Sunday.
Leglise.
Go and bathe and go and sit down in church. You can sleep there if you want, but Jesus will know you came. And me with my high chick will say, but everybody else in the house sleeping. Why me? Why you have to be picking on me every time like that to go to church? And she would say to me, one day you will understand. And honestly, I only understood maybe during Maria. It took me that long. Because
not even during Hurricane David?
During Hurricane David. For me, Hurricane David was a sport, because Hurricane David, I put my bath suit on me. I had my wash rag in one hand and a soap in my other hand. And it was just running down from my home to the bayfront and from by the bayfront to back. And for us, that was a sport. Hurricane David was bathing in the streets under the rain. That was what Hurricane David was. Even when Galvanized was flying, that was your moment to duck into all those little coups, to duck from getting hit by one of the missiles. So for me, Hurricane David was fun time. But Maria was what connected a lot of my dots. A lot of my dots. Maria, my experience in Maria connected a lot of my dots. I can say that without any fear of contradiction. For me personally, that is what connected a lot of my dots.
And that was just 9 years ago.
And it was just 9 years ago. But my journey started long before that. But it's culminated on the day of Maria through my experience.
Wow. You have to tell us about your experience with Maria, why it connected the dots for you. But let me just find out, as we're on this too, what was the defining moment for you though, Natasha? You said that you were born in Stock Farm, you moved to another place and all of that until you traveled overseas, 3 countries, you came back. What was the defining moment for you? We're hearing from Jessica, Maria did a lot for her. It connected her dots even. For you, what stands out?
I'm still trying to connect my dots, Still really trying to put, everything into perspective. But I remember at 17 years, I overheard a conversation. So I was living in St. Lucia. This family took very good care of me and, did everything that they could to make sure I was okay. And then I overheard a conversation where the mother in the house was a little concerned about, okay, she's done with high school. She cannot stay in St. Lucia. How is she going to get work and what's she going to do?
And that was your family? Your family?
No, they were not.
Boy, they were not your family?
No, they were not family.
Okay.
Well, they were my family now. They are my family now. They are some of the people who are really still closest to me. But when I remember that lady, when she said that, I'm like, you know what? Send me home. And I said, send me back to meet my daddy. And for those who don't know, my daddy is JJ, James Gervais in Kings Hill. I tell him he must take care of me. Even if he wasn't there all my life and I wasn't with him, send me back to meet my daddy. And coming back to Dominica for me started putting a lot of things into perspective. I started understanding my background. I started dispelling all of the lies that I was told about who my father was and my mother was, and, you know, all of the confusion over the years. I was able to get, like, you know, go back to your foundation, cement everything, and understand who you really are. So I was no longer this little girl moving from one home to the next, from one family to the next. Church have to ask, are you taking her, or somebody going to take her, or somebody going to send her back? Those kind of things. I was now and I didn't care what it was. I wasn't sure what my daddy was going to be like when I come back home to him, but I just said, send me back to meet my daddy, I'll be fine. And they did, and I am fine. So that was one of the turnarounds in my life at 17, to come back home, and it just helped me build who I am. I think if I had stayed out there, I would have still been in the shadow of my adopted siblings, you know, maybe living with my big sister, still trying to be a big baby around her and everything. But coming back kind of made me an individual. It made me a person. It helped me understand where I came from. And so I wasn't just this little girl floating around and moving among 7 homes and all over the place.
I didn't know that was your story. See, Nigel? I didn't know that.
Yes. That is, I mean, and again, Natasha, I mean, you know, you can share as much as you like, and if you feel that you know we're asking to share too much, you can always say, "Hey, okay, whatever it is."
That's okay.
But I think that's interesting because, I mean, the fact that you said you were moving around different homes, adopted homes, different countries, and everything else, for young people who are probably going through the same thing, you know, or may have experienced it and so on before. What was that like for you, though, having to move to different homes and different places and different families? Looking back at it, what was it like for you?
It was like, a lot of it is still like a blur, because it's like, boy, I'm all over the place. At one point, I felt like I wanted this family to just adopt me and take me in and let me be theirs. But it's like you just never felt at home, even if they created, you know, some of it, they created the space. And I remember, like I said, the last family I lived with, I'm still very, very close with my siblings. So when you ask me about my siblings, these are the people I talk about most. I'm still very close to them. But it just never felt like, you know, so it just felt like this little girl just sailing all over. And I just never had this grounding. I never had this footing. Yes, it built my foundation, my faith, because I went to church. All of the families I moved with, it was about going to church, knowing God, teaching me how to, you know. But they just never felt like, and it's like, I just needed that level of security, that level of wanting to be among where I came from. So coming back for me was really, really that. And, you know, when I think about it, I'm like, well, you're a passepartout man. But it made me who I am. So as painful as it may have been, as difficult as it may have been, as many challenges that I would have gone through living with each individual family, all of it made me who I am. Both the hard exterior and the little marshmallow on the inside, every bit of it framed me into the woman I am today. So that's what it is for me.
That is deep, Nigel. And we're going to learn so much more. We're going to learn so much more.
And so you have the platform to tell those who are going through it now. What do you want to say to them?
You'll be okay. It's going to figure itself out. It's going to play out, and it's going to help. Because sometimes, you know, when you have everything easy, I look at a lot of people and other people in my life who seem to have had it easy, seem to have had everything under control, and they take a lot of things for granted. It's like, okay, you know, I was able to get this, I was able to get that, and they just go through life. It's like nothing, and there's no grounding, no appreciation, no. I'm not even sure how to put it, but they're just not able to value the simple things in life. So for me now, even having, like, I have a home of my own, that's a big thing for me, because I value that. Because when I was younger, I didn't have mommy's home and I didn't have daddy's home. It was these people's house. And even if the people didn't make it like that for me, it always felt like that. You know, you always feel like a little outsider. So having your own, you learn to appreciate it. You don't take things for granted. You don't take things light. Like food. I lived with a family and food was tough. Simple thing as having a pair of slippers. And I have how many shoes in my closet? At one time I had to walk without shoes. Or you have a school shoe, under the school shoe have a big hole. So you don't have socks. The top have a socks, but underneath don't have socks. And so I value basic things. So I appreciate the fact that I can go in my drawer and pull out 3-4 pairs of socks and I can choose what I want to wear. Having new clothes. I lived for years on hand-me-downs. My first maybe new dress was at 16 or 17. One of my bigger sisters decided, you know what, you live in the first. She bought cloth. The cloth was ugly, but she made me my dress for church. And I remember that dress to this day because it was my first dress that belonged to me first. So little things like that help you appreciate just the basics in life.
Wow. Let's go back to Jessica. We'll come back to you in a short while, Natasha, because Jessica was giving us a very interesting story at the time. Hurricane Maria. What happened? What did Hurricane Maria change for you?
Well, let me just backtrack and let me just.
Sure.
I am an epileptic, or what you would say, someone who gets fits. But I don't fit anymore. I get what you get, auras.
You get auras?
Yes.
AURAS?
Yes. Oh. Like I know when an episode is coming on.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to dispel that one because if I survive Easter Sunday 2026, that will put me now 2 years since my last episode. So, prayers and fingers crossed. So all of my life, I battled with this sickness. And when I say all of my life, I mean all of my life. I battled with this sickness. And so as an epileptic, I battled with this sickness, going in and out of hospital, missing school. And then at age 23, I was diagnosed with cancer. So yeah, I am a cancer survivor, 33 years now. So I'm a cancer survivor. Yes, you wouldn't know that because I only tell my stories within closed spaces. So people are going to see me and hear things about me today because I am going to try to be as authentic and as truthful as possible. So I survived epilepsy, I survived cancer, I survived sexual abuse, yes. I can be in the Me Too movement.
Jessica, you would have thought that I knew things about you, that's why I invited you to the program. But no, I just see you as a dynamic person. I know you were featured with VF Inc. once and you had a good story to tell. I did not hear the story though.
Yes. But so you'll get part of the story today. You wouldn't get it in depth, and because I usually do my story on one-on-ones, or if I go in a situation or in a place where people are.
Your story will empower people, so I'm happy that you're.
So I also survived being pronounced dead at the hospital. Yes, being pronounced dead, and my next of kin is being asked for. Yes. So I've survived many things. And Hurricane Maria brought all these things together, things my grandmother would say to me, the reason why I always had to go to church to ensure that I was connected and aligned. And it's because I was connected and aligned that I survived Hurricane Maria. Because the eve of Maria, when I got to my home where I was staying at the time, my daughter's boyfriend was there, and I haven't I tell these people, do not come to my home when I am not there. And I was all riled up and ready to put him out. And then somewhere during Maria, the roof caved in. But prior to that, I was just walking back from the bedroom where my daughter told me, Mommy, go and take out the TV where the TV is. And instead of taking out the TV where the TV was, I came back with a lamp in my hand. And she's like, Mommy, you're supposed to have the TV. And then this noise came, And all I know was dragged from the back. And exactly where I was standing, the roof just impaled itself right where I was standing. And dragged into my daughter's room. So now the boyfriend that I wanted to put out, 3 of us in the room. And I'm like, if I survive this thing, because those are one of the situations for me as an epileptic that would stir off seizures. And I'm like, if I survive this thing. And I went towards her bedroom window, trying to look outside to see exactly what was happening in the darkness. I don't know how I could see. And then all of a sudden I felt this thing hits me on my face. So I moved back, and then it hit me on my face again. So when it hit me on my face, I grabbed, and then it was a chain she had gotten at World Youth Day. When we went to World Youth Day at Vickers. And when I looked at the chain, I read, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." And I paused in that moment. And I was like, so I'm not going to perish. I'm not going to perish. And I was like, Jesus, can you hear me now? Jesus, can you hear me now? Jesus, can you hear me now? And I went on with this mantra for hours. That was all I was saying. Jesus, can you hear me now? Because you just promised me. You gave it to me three times on my cheek. So can you hear me now? And that was all. And then water started coming up in the bedroom. So now I am literally starting to feel like I in a bath somewhere. Ended up on the bed and watching that water filling up the house and hearing noises all around me. Anyway, long story short, Maria came. I had my moments. I survived. And lost my job for a moment. Started getting mental. Then my auntie sent for me in St. Lucia. She was in St. Lucia at the time, Gloria. And she brought me to this place. She had some function and we were in a theater place. And honestly, I cannot remember what was the topic of the conversation that was had. But this lady came and she started talking about a hurricane. And that was all I heard was hurricane. And I lost it. I totally lost it, Ivona. I lost it in the middle of nowhere. The only person I knew was my aunts, surrounded by strangers. Lost it and had to end up going to get my head fixed. And I remember when I went to the psychologist the first time and she started. And when she asked me the very first question, I tell her, I'm not in your story with you. I'm going to leave this place. Because it brought me back to age 14. Yes, that is how far it brought me back. When I was made a promise by somebody, and I am 60 plus now, And that promise is still not fulfilled. And I did not want to deal with it because also at that time, and I'm going to say it, a family member told me to go ask your mother who your father is. So even at age 60, I'm carrying a surname. And I still have to ask myself, who is my father? So a lot of us walk our lives. A lot of us journey.
Yes, Nigel, this
And people see us. People say things about us. People don't know us. Because we have to navigate lives in our own way. We have to go to places within us, within our own authentic selves, and connect our own dots, because we're not certain that the people that are supposed to connect the dots for us will even be honest and truthful with us. So what this thing has allowed me to do, is when I get into spaces that I have been given the gift of discernment. So when I get into spaces, even if I am part of the crowd, I am always away from the crowd. I am socially antisocial.
Oh, yeah?
And what I do is I try to connect or identify with people that are like me. And so I try to get to know who they are. Because even I'm very much involved in church. And as a catechist, I would always end up teaching the children which nobody wanted. The troublesome ones, or those that come out of the margins of life that people couldn't understand or did not want to take the time to understand. And I remember I also am deeply involved in chaperoning Carnival Queen contestants. And I remember one year somebody came up to me and said, why do you always choose the girls that you know that are not going to win? And I said, because they will win beyond the stage. And that is where it is important. And I'm going to call her name. One of the individuals that I worked with that is actually winning beyond the stage is look, I even forget her name. What's her name? Super.
It will come.
I'm not sure which one.
It will come.
It will come.
After.
She sings now.
Shalina.
When I took on Shalina, I said, Shalina, why you going to people's thing? Based on, how... She said, Auntie Jessie, all I want to do is sing. And I'm using this platform so that when people hear my name, they will already know my name. And I said, that's all you want to do? She said, yes. And I took on Shalina like 6 weeks before the actual show. 6 weeks. And now Shalina is a household name. She has gone beyond where she came from, beyond where she started. And so for me, that is my gratification, because truth be told, I had nobody to do that for me. I navigated through this life basically on my own, but what I came to understand after Maria and going through counseling and all that, that God placed my dots in my life at strategic positions. Some of them I missed, and some of them I connected with. And those I connected with, they are the ones that even now, invisible as they are there behind me. All now, so there's one there, she's the one who made me come there, because I would not have come there. She had to talk that into my head. There is somebody out there that needs to see you or have seen you and don't know the things that you have gone through, and you cannot tell. So yes, the person that you see, that is she. But the person that you see, you do not know. And that's why I always tell people, you do not know me. I give you what I want to give, and I give to others what I want them to give. But my whole giving is to make a difference into the lives of anybody that I encounter. And that is what I live for now. That is who I am to the core. I try to be there for people when they are at their lowest. I am not here for applause. I am not there for accolades. That is why I'm a chaperone. I dress in black. I always stay at the back and push others forward, because at the end of the day, as Christians, as based on my Catholic social teachings, we are to ensure that every individual that we encounter lives to his or her highest maximum. Even this maximum surpasses yours. It's not about you. It's about the individuals or the change that you bring into the lives of others. So, yeah, that is me to the core.
Wow. Nigel, this is deep. And sometimes you
this
see
is why
people,
we connect. This is why we connect on a Saturday.
And
this
you see people and you just
this.
believe they have it all made. You know, they have it all together. Because I see Jessica as a flamboyant person, a person that a lot of people they are drawn to her. You know, you see her in different events, always well dressed, and then to listen to her story, it's. Sometimes
But this is
you have to know people's story for it to really recognize the glory.
Whoever it is that encouraged you to come this morning and share the story, thank you to that person, because it is when we share those stories, we're able to inspire others. We're able to let those who are going through the same thing know that they're not alone, and that they can survive and thrive and be there for others now to help them grow as well. So whoever it is this morning that sent Jesse, thank you, that person. We appreciate you too. You know,
I'm sure her story has touched a lot of people, Nigel.
It has. And if you go back and look at the comments on YouTube and Facebook, you would be in more tears, because just one person that says, I was listening, but I had no choice. I had to come on here on Facebook and share my tears with you. You've made me sad, but at the same time, you've made me happy. Thank you for sharing your story. It takes guts, but you've helped so many people this morning. You won't understand. This other person says, wow, James Juvier was my schoolmate. He wants to ask, how is your daddy? I guess that's for Natasha, so Renick. And he says, Jesse, don't worry, the Lord is listening in. You are in this world for a purpose. I am here in tears. You are so right. but you've made me feel so much better today, even if I'm in tears. Thanks for sharing your story. I am still not able to share mine in open, but I tell it in close spaces to encourage others. Nice hearing from those ladies. Yes, Jesse, if you know, you know. Oh, that's from Juliana, of course. Another close person here. This is a lot to digest. God bless. Natasha, hold strong. Jesse, hold strong. Awesome. God is your guide. And so many things that's there, you know. But these are the powerful stories that we like to tell, because when you talk of phenomenal women and what they're doing today and where they are, it's always good to get the story and the journey so that others can know, hey, you can make it as well, you know. So in hearing each other's story, though, Natasha, I mean, what does that do for you in terms of, you know, the emotions and
does it bring back some sad memories for you?
Bring back, yeah, you know.
Boy, I was just telling Jessie when I came here, right? Now I work right next to her because Planned Parenthood is right next to where she used to work at, which is in the wholesale. So when I was in my office, I used to be able to see her from my window. So if I hear any loud noise, I'm going to see who troubling Jessie down there. You know, any little thing like that. And when I pass in the morning, I'd look out to see what she's wearing, especially around, you know, the independent season. And there was always something about, I just like that lady. But
in fact, just I don't want to interrupt you. I was just looking for the message you sent me when you realized that Jessie would be on with you. Just looking for it. And she like sigh. No, I hate to talk about myself, but not that part. I'm just looking for the part when she realized, Papa, the lady you have me with, big people that way.
So she's always somebody. She's been somebody, especially since I started working in the area, that I just silently admire. A lot of the things would be, you know, this female who's in the supervisory position, and she works in the wholesale. So, you know, it's like a lot of men around and stuff. And I see her, and she little bit, Jessie not very big, Jessie not, but she's firm, but you could also see that like love in nature. So just from passing around, sometimes I'd make sure I pass just to look to see. And they move her, so I'm a little disappointed because she's not right there anymore. But not knowing her, not knowing anything about her, but just seeing her on my way to work every morning, it has actually done something for me. So I'm like, you know what? There's a story behind her, but there's also this nice soft gentleness that draws you to want to get to know and, you know, get into her space. So that's what it does for me. But it just brings me back to remembering, like, you know, everybody go through their journey, but at the end of the day, who do you become because of your journey? And you could choose to become this hard person, you could choose to become this soft person, or you could allow it to define you to be able to adjust to where you are and what you need to be at the time. So for me, that's what it is. I'm sitting here trying not to cry and trying to be, you know, all steadfast, but Jessie reminds me that we have learned how to adjust. Like she mentioned the word chameleon, how to become a chameleon, because depending on where you are, you have to be able to either break or stand strong. You have to either learn to be strong, soft, or to be hard. So that is what basically her story really does for me. Being able to be resilient, being able to conform, being able to adjust, but without even losing who you are as an individual.
So Nigel, what play we?
Yes.
Wow. This is
well, I know I understand as well, you know. But that's the beauty about this thing of connecting the dots, you know what I mean? That's the beauty about it.
And what I liked in what she was saying as well, Nigel. She mentioned of connect how she connected dots. I like that, you know, not referring to the program itself.
Yes.
But the importance of connecting dots.
Actually, because of the name of the program that, you know, I also have a very creative mind, and so when I was coming there, I'm like, I think I need to use the name of the
because I've looked at your writing and I'm like, wow, but Jesse, you can write. You really can write. You can write.
Well, you see, all this writing thing came from having to go to therapy, because that was one of the exercises that I had to do. I had to journal my feelings and emotions on a daily basis. So whatever I was going through at the time, if I did not want to talk to somebody, I had to journal it. So I have this journal. And then somewhere along the line, I just decide, you know what? I'm going to just put this out in public. Whoever it touches, whoever gets upset by it. That is why when I write and I put it out on my Facebook page, I do not pass back to see what people wrote underneath it, because for me, it is just therapy. So people's opinions or whatever they put underneath it is not my business, because I did not put it there to get any feedback. I just get it there, put it out there to say what I feel or what I think in any given situation.
So you're at a point now, Jessie, where you have let go a lot.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Because another thing is that my grandmother again, once my mother and I was in this Discord, and I told her what I was going to say, and she's like, Jessie, it's your words. It's your words. And then she brought me in front of the window and she told me, look out here. And I want a lot of whoever that might be out there listening to the sound of my voice, when you walk the streets, there is the sidewalk, what we call the sidewalk, there is the gutter, and then there is the street. And then she tell me, look out there. You have the sidewalk, you have the gutter separating the sidewalk from the street. You always have choices. You can either be in the gutter, garbage, dirty water, whatever is in the gutter, so you can mingle with the garbage and the dirty water which is in the gutter. Or you can step out from the gutter and come onto the sidewalk. Or you can step out from the gutter and step onto the streets. You have a choice. So the choice is yours to choose. Gutter, sidewalk, or streets. The street is always higher, but with a lot of traffic that you have to navigate through. So that is the choices, and that is the things. Even still now, when I'm trying to make critical decisions into what things, I'm like, well, I wish Rosetta Martin was there now. I wish Rosetta Martin was there now to make me navigate through those things. But then I remember so many things that she would tell me, and those are the things that I use now to just navigate through life. And I have reached a point in my life there now that I'm not too bothered by stuff. I'm not bothered by people. I'm not bothered by opinions. What I am bothered by is who I am and who I am becoming, even when I leave this area. So what I have come to do now is enjoy my moments. Whichever moments I am given, try to make it be impactful in a positive way. So that when I leave my space with a clear conscience. I leave my space knowing that I made, even if it's a little difference in the life of somebody. That is what I live.
This is powerful.
That's what I live for now. I do not live for what people think about me. I do not defend myself anymore to anybody. Say what you want, disavouer, talk your talk, but yeah.
Wow. Jessie, you have
my
a powerful
choices.
story. Wow, I just love to listen to you as well. I always listen to Oprah and Ian Levanzant and others. And I remember when Oprah said that at 14, she gave birth to a child who sadly passed away. And shortly after, at 19, I think, she was fired from her television job. And the list went on and on and on. And the stories were so sad, And then I remembered Maya Angelou and all of that. And I'm like, women, we have powerful stories that we can tell that can inspire the world. And
but
Jessie, I did not know your story.
But you'd be surprised too that you said that. At age 23, though, I was also diagnosed as being premenopausal.
And at age 23?
At age 23, yep. And I was literally told I would never make a child. But at age 14 is a significant age in my life because I made some very deep and critical decisions which turned out. And I remember too, because of a conversation like Natasha, People never know what you hear. And I remember at age 14, I say, I am going to make only one child, because parents, they can say what they want. They always have their favorite. They can say what they want. They have their favorite child. So I'm going to make only one child when you say I get to age 25 and beyond, because at that time they used to say when you reach that age, when you make children later than that, you're making something. Yeah. And it was like about 3 months before my 23rd birthday. I had just finished playing Spartans versus Celtics. Netball, Windsor Park. I was the center court player, so running up and down the court, legs up, short skirts. Oh yes, with my frills in the back of my pantaloon. Spartans won, celebrating because we beat Celtics. Yep. And then Ursula said to me, "But Jessie, you're bleeding." And I'm like, bleeding? I don't get period. Period is not part of my lifestyle. And she was like, you don't get period? I said, no, girl. I've always had this issue from time. If I do get a period, is whatever. And they brought me to Hasbro. And the doctor looked at me after he examined me, and he said, young lady, you're 6 months pregnant.
And you were 23?
I was 25.
25 at that time, okay.
Yes, and 2 years prior. And I'm like, I can't see what I see. And I just got up and I walked out of his office because I could not comprehend that as a possibility. I went home, I said nothing. And that is the other thing with me. I do not speak about me too much. I try not to. And I said nothing at the time. Weeks passed. And it was then I told my grandmother that I was... That same grandmother. I told her that I was pregnant. So when I went to work, I went to the HR and I told him, it was a man at the time, that I was pregnant. He asked me, when are you due? I told him, I cannot answer you because I didn't even know I was pregnant. So I don't know when I get pregnant. And I worked up until, I worked for my entire 9 months. I left work the Saturday and the child was born the Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. And I went back to my workplace the Monday morning to tell them I had the baby and I will be on maternity leave as of forthwith. And I went back to my home. So I have a lot of dramatic and traumatic moments in my life that, I don't know. I do have a purpose here, but the purpose is only God knows. And so he puts me into places and spaces that I do not even want to be. Like I say, I did not want to be here because but he always puts me into places that whatever he wants. Because on my way here, I said, see my notes? I have plenty notes. But I haven't said not one thing because I did not want to say the things that I said. So I said, you will open thy mouth and you will let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you. And that is what Natasha and I prayed to thee. So whatever we speak forth is the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts, so that when we leave this radio space, it will be acceptable unto God.
Natasha Jervier, I'm happy I invited you as well to the program. It was like, for you, why me? What do I have to say like this? And sometimes you don't know people's stories. But sometimes you feel a pull, you feel an energy, you feel something. There's an attraction somewhere that forces you to, in that case, obviously, you know, ask the person to be a guest on the program. And so I knew Jessie long ago because I lived on Bath Road, Independence Street, close to the gardens. You know, I always had to commute in that area, you know, pass in that area. I didn't know Natasha until later, you know, very much later, not too long ago. But very kind soul, Natasha Jervier, very, very kind soul. And when she meets you, she wants to have a conversation. You know, some people just ask you, how you doing? And you know, just move away. And they don't even listen to ask if, to understand if you're doing well, to listen to your answer. But she'll always, you know, stop and say something. And in that something, there's always something to empower you. That is, even if you're talking about athletics with her, because we had a long conversation in a supermarket aisle about athletics. I'm not involved in athletics, but my last daughter is, you know. And Natasha, what she says, it always leaves a message with you. And I say, wow, I think I should invite Natasha, a young lady, Chief Executive Director, that's it, or what? Executive Director.
Executive Director.
Okay, so I could check out the
or like I tell people, I just work
Executive
there.
Director of the Dominica Planned Parenthood Association. But in terms, I think you have a master's in what? International relations, you know.
Yes.
And I didn't know that's all what you went through. And I'm so empowered today by this program today.
I know you just got a slight tip. Like, we haven't even opened the bottle.
But let's open the
So
bottle.
we
We have some time still.
I am.
We have some time still. Because what I want you opening that bottle to do is to empower people. Because there's so many women going through so many things. Not just women, families, men as well. But what you say will empower somebody to speak out. And I'm sure a lot of times when we have the program, and depends on the guests and what they say, I meet people and they give me their stories as well. They give me so many stories. They are and me play with it. So sometimes I'm talking to somebody, maybe in the streets, and you know I'm crying, and the person is talking, and people looking at me and saying, "But what is wrong with her?" You know. So your story will empower somebody else. I listened to Jessie and I was like moved.
What about your involvement with that in athletics? How did that come about?
Well, I just laugh when Jessie spoke about the Celtics patterns because I'm actually a member of the Celtics netball team. I played netball all my life, from high school. I think I did a little bit in grade 6. It was standard 4 at the time. So I did a little bit in standard 4. All my life in high school. And then when I came back to Dominica and I was in college, I was one of the starting 7. Okay. And I remember like my younger sister and I, we played and we always playing against each other. And I was this chubby little girl, 180 pounds, but I was agile. I don't know, you know, I was agile. I could move. And she said, "Girl, I can't keep up with you." I said, "Nah, good luck." So netball was my thing, and I played. I play for Celtics. I play with Celtics. Although you know, as you get a little older, you take a little back seat. So it has always been that for me. But when I went to teach at St. Martin,
as well? Did you play center?
No, man, I can't play center. I can't play a center. I can't hold on a center. But I played defense. So I played like wing defense, you know, goal defense. And even when I played for you, we had a little size. So the coach was telling me we couldn't hold on this girl, and coach said just jump on her. So I always had to use, you know, my little size to do what I had to do. So defense was my thing. The centers was for those little bits that could run up and down. I was agile, yes, but not center agile. And, you know, I got involved in athletics when I started teaching at the St. Martin Secondary School. I was teaching PE, and so I just had to accompany the girls. And to this day, I just enjoy accompanying the girls. And even if athletics, I am part of the Athletics Association. But for me, my thing is being able to be more. It's not, I mean, yes, I'm in administration. Yes, I'm on the association. But I just enjoy the combat and the rivalry and just being able to be all the teams. So if I can just chill with the young people, sit with them. When I travel with them, I enjoy like just chaperoning them, taking care of them. So I have this thing about me because who I am today is because of the number of people who took care of me along the way. Good, bad, and ugly. I had the rough ones. I was like a victim of child abuse, child labor as well. So I know what it is to go and carry fig on a Tuesday, going to school, carry those black trays. I got strong enough by 10, 11 years that I could carry a whole black tray. They fix your torch on your head. They load your tray. Next day you have to go and pick the tangerine and climb the kenip tree. And so I know what it is. You have to go and sell the vegetables and all of that. I work the work. And slowly you have to walk on the ground and you have to do what you have to do. So I understand hard work, but I also understand the importance of that one person who could be that nurturing figure in your life. And for me, that is who I strive to be. So a lot of the technicalities in all of the athletics and all of that, yes, I'm there, so I have to do it. But my passion is just being able to be just that support system, particularly for the young girls, because I understand what I always had. Like, my friends were always older. So as a teenager, they were 25, 30, 40, 40. Even when I met who I call my mother now, my adopted mother, Mrs. Weeks, it was this lady who just felt that this little girl needed somebody. So after a conversation, I gave her a little attitude. She said, you know what, child, I will need a daughter, you need a mother, why not? And that's just it. That's it. Brilliant. And, you know, I have had a number of other women. I have like people like Kimon Joseph who just walk into my life and just provide that level of support. So for me, I want to be that person, even if it's to one young lady, one little boy who looks up to me as a mother figure, one little girl who feels that this person really, really, really cares. And so when I give my all, I give my heart, I give my passion to them, because I understand what it is to have it hard. I understand what it is to work hard. I understand what it is to get blows with I get blows with all kind of things already. From the cable, from the radio to the hose to, you know, the cool stone they send behind you. The works I've been through, and I understand what it is to go through a hard life. But in all the hard, I remember I lived with this lady, and alas, it was terrible. But every Sunday I had this sister, and to this day, she's one of those I'm the closest to, and I would be able to go to church every Sunday. And I'm like, okay, Becky is there. So she was like my rescue, my little escape. So she was a teenager herself, maybe just in her early 20s, but she was always that refuge for me. She was always that safe space for me. And these people in my life are the people who have inspired me now to try to become that refuge for somebody, to try to become that safe space. So you see me involved, and I'm involved in a lot, but it's not really about, you know, being out there or being in the forefront, but being that safe space for at least one person. You know, so I'm like the little mother hen who's always just looking out for the children, always looking out, especially for the young girls. Because you if you don't have that, you know, no matter how hard life is, if you can just find that one little beacon, it makes a world of a difference for you.
Nigel.
Journey and the story continues, man. I mean, and I guess for both of you, I mean, going through all what you've been through, at the time you probably might have been questioning yourself, like, why me? And you know, why do I have to be going through all of this? And then looking back at it now, especially for you, Jesse, and your grandmother, maybe at the time you say, well, that woman troublesome, boy, and this and that and that. I mean, when you look back at it now, are you telling yourself, what would you want to tell now, those who have their grannies?
Yeah.
You know, knowing what you went through and what you might have told your granny back then, and knowing now how she's almost like the rock. What would you want to tell them?
Those with grannies, and I mean the grannies that keep on talking, because there are grannies that's probably not talking. But the grannies with the voice, the grannies that will always call you out, the grannies that will always try to reason with you or to make you understand that even if you may not like something that is going on, but like she used to tell me, is your response. It's not that your response is wrong. It's just that everybody cannot take it the way that you want to send it out. But I believe once it's the truth, there is no Willy Wonka against any truth. I am not going to put no chocolates over anything for you that you will think you have a chocolate in your hand, and when you bite it, you might end up with a green banana, or you have a patty banana all kissed up with sugar and flour, and when you bite it, there's maybe a half green banana plantain inside encased in that. The truth is the truth. And so to the people out there with the grannies who call you out, who let you know or give you pause to internalize who you are in spite of what others may be thinking or saying about you. Listen to the grannies. You will not or may not understand it in the moment, but as life goes on, as God gives you that length of time, whichever length of time, for me, He's graced me with 60, and I'm forever grateful. Will always be grateful. I am already thinking of my 70th, because I did enjoy my 60th, so I am hoping to enjoy my 70th. Listen to the grannies. The grannies are old. Well, they're no longer old, but the ones with the voice. Because when you find your voice, you will realize that all the dots that the grannies has placed for you, you're going to sit down and take your own pen and connect them for yourself and truly see your story, not only on paper, but within you. Because once you can find whatever it is that is within you, that silence, that person inside that nobody else, once you get comfortable with that person inside, when you take out what from the inside and you bring it through the vocals, you are phenomenal. You will be phenomenal, regardless of what the world sees or what they thinks. Because another thing is that people think about you what they think about themselves and are unable to deal with. So they project it out of you. And if you do not know who you are, you're going to accept that as your story and live a life that is not yours at all, but you're living that other person's life. So find who you are. Connect your own dots. And when you do that, you will be able to live in your own authentic self, your own authentic truth, and be able to just navigate life without the stresses of the world, because from the womb to the tomb, so live for the tomb, because that is going to be your final resting place. When I tell people I make my death announcement on my funeral program already, they're thinking I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. But if I had a choice, there are certain people that have connected dots in my life. I don't even want them to at my funeral, because they are the ones that caused a lot of pain, even if I grew out of it. But I don't know if I'll get to heaven, still have their dots connected in my life. I'm being that honest. So, my boy, my girl out there, find who you are. Do not let people define you. Define your own self. That's the only way you're going to know your purpose. That's the only way you're going to live your dreams. That's the only way you're going to set your goals and achieve your goals. Because it's not everybody that is out there that is smiling with you, that is eating at the same table with you, that is for you, and that is life. You're going to get that. That's why you need to know who you are, so that you can choose with whom you walk your path. You can choose whom you will always be grateful to, because gratitude is a must. I know it probably is not the end to see gratitude. Thanks to Juliana Boston, Frederica James, my daughter Shahida, Auntie Gloria. My circle's small, you know. I don't want to call a name because some people are going to be offended because they'll think they're in that circle. Jenny Jajak, Sheriff Francis, Carol Patrick. I can call those names without fear, without favor, and know them people there always got my back. No matter what version of myself I put out, they always got my back. And I will always, you see those dots there? Them dots there, that's my circle. That's my circle.
Yes, and you've connected it very well on those dots there. By the way, Olivia wants to say, Natasha, I'm a friend of yours, and we're not very close, but I'm always excited whenever I meet you. Desiree Lewis says, blessings, Jessica, my past worker at Astafan, very firm person. So quite a few things over on the YouTube side. And then, of course, who is there saying hi? Ivani Laura. Yes, Vado, good morning to you as well. You were a little late this morning. Just cool, but good morning to you. Joe Cam, good morning to you. Astrid Pinard, amen, amen. Good morning, Judy Joseph. Let it go. You've already overcome so much. Move on, my daughter. Glenda Burton. Grannies have the wisdom. Always listen to them. Sandra Norris, you're here as well. These two women are such powerful ladies. Without advertising, it is so true. You can't judge a book by the cover. Keep doing what you're doing. Your cousin say, words of wisdom. I'm not going to call his name, but you can find him on a Sunday afternoon from 3 o'clock at the radio station.
He always calls Jesse.
Good morning to you, my dear brother. Peter Prost, good morning.
Lacuzo wine.
Alexander Hodge. I always felt just by seeing those two young ladies and their demeanor that they were always special, and I was right on the spot. What a story you've told, Jesse. Continue doing what you're doing. I love speaking to Natasha, such a gem. So, Natasha, athletics, youth empowerment, you're also the executive director of Planned Parenthood. What's it like in the Planned Parenthood? What's going on there? What are you doing? What's happening over there?
Okay, so I guess from my story, you will realize that I'm an agent for change, and I'm not sure if I can settle, probably because I've moved around so much, I can settle in one thing, one way for too long. Maybe I have ADHD, something, but I always believe in transformation and change. And right now, Planned Parenthood, we're going through all of what we're going through, but we still stand to be and try to be what we've always provided for Dominica, and my focus is on service. But I'm looking at a concept of just rebranding Planned Parenthood to becoming a family clinic. It doesn't make sense that we sit back and we just provide contraceptives and just take care of the women, where we wouldn't be who we are without the men in our lives, without the children in our lives, without, the grannies and everybody else who fuel us, who are there with us. And so my vision for Planned Parenthood is to be able to provide an entire cadre of services that caters to the entire family, basically just a one-stop shop. And so this is my brain right now, trying to redirect, rebrand, and get us to a space where when you walk in, no matter who you are, what you are, male, female, child, somewhere in between, that we can be able to serve you. I'm a person of service. I believe in serving. I always say if I had my way, I would have been somebody's personal assistant. That would be my ideal job. I'd love to be somebody's personal assistant because I just want to be able to serve. So for me, I would love Planned Parenthood to get to that point where we can serve all of Dominica. You walk in, whether it's psychological, whether it's physical, whatever it may be, that we can have a space where we can serve you. So that's where we are right now. We're trying to just regroup and get on track, get to a certain position where we can be the known space for Dominica, not just for contraceptives, but for whatever level of service you may be when it comes to your health.
Powerful.
Do you ever find yourself in a situation where people come to the Planned Parenthood and because of all what you've gone through, you find yourself having to almost counsel them, even if that's not what they came for?
Well, yes, but I have a lot of the students who come. So some we have those under a certain age when they walk in. Usually that's what it is. So they usually come, and whatever service they come for, most times they have to end up sitting with me. And we have had parents who bring their children in. Some of them know me from being a teacher, and that was my passion, being a teacher. So they bring them, and I sit and I'm able to have conversations with them. And a lot of the girls, they tell you, but I going through this, and my mother doing this, and my father doing this, and this happening, and so many things are happening. But in the midst of it all, helping them ensure that who they are as individuals remain, who their genuine self can come out, they can remain true to themselves, and it's not a case where you just misbehaving just because. And I remember telling somebody my story once. I sat with a lady, an older lady, and she said, you went through all of that and you are who you are. And my response to her was like, why not? It's supposed to help me to become a better person. She said, no, but you're not misbehaving and you're not acting up and you're not. I said, so what, you expect me to be in jail? You expecting me to, be in the dumps? It's supposed to make me want something more. So for me, every stage in my life, I look for something more, because I remember again going back to the start. This little girl who was from Silver Lake, who had a drug addict mother, who had a mother who was murdered, who was killed, and all of the works. And I used this to propel me, to make me a better person, to think differently, to be able to, I use it as my stepping stone to just stand out. It doesn't make sense to use this and then, to go into the slumps. Yes, I have my low moments. I'm human. I have my days when I cry. I have my days. I don't do the why me, but I have my days when okay, I'm just tired. I've had it all. I've had enough. You want to be out. However, by the time I sit down and I cry and complain, I regroup and I just think of how can I make a difference? How can I be better? How can I be a new person? Because it doesn't make sense to use all of that for the negative. I've been through it. It happened. It was my life. But all of this can help me. So yes, I do. And I do have situations where I have to sit down with the young people and interact with them. I did more of it though as a teacher, because I always made that little space for my girls where they could come in and they vented. So even before we started class, particularly when they got to 4th and 5th form, I always had to sit down and get the air full. And then we start our class. I taught family and resource management. And I tried to ensure that my classroom was a safe space, because I usually had smaller classrooms. And I usually kept it as a safe space for the girls where they can come and they can vent. So there was a knife in my drawer. I'm not sure if my principal knew to this day I had a knife in my drawer, because when one came and she showed me, Miss, this is what I have. And I just quietly took it and I'm able to sit with you. And to this day, she was one of my, one who still checks in on me. Miss, you were there for me. I've had the tissue and the tears and the stories, the boyfriend stories, the drug addict partners, the works. And I've always had situations where people are just so open. I don't know why though. They're just so open with me and they're able to tell me. And I remember those young girls. Sometimes when you listen to the things that they deal with, I remember one telling me once, Miss, so you think all of those ingredients and all those fancy things I have is my mother that buying it? Miss, my boyfriend that paying for all those things, And
that's the reality.
Yeah, and you cannot judge, but you understand. You understand why, and you understand how, and you still have to show them compassion and love. And they introduced me to the boyfriends one time, but Miss, he that paying for the school. What I can tell the boy, my brother, take care of my child, and make sure you help her study so that your money didn't go down the drain. So the personality that I have puts me in situations where people are comfortable just coming and just sharing their stories. The young people in particular, they share their space, they share their stories, because I don't believe in judging. We all go through, we all do things, we all make mistakes, we all, we've done the unthinkable growing up, and you understand that it's perspective and just being able to see where they come from and why, and being able to help them to redirect. And that's the important thing for me. I've had people who help me redirect. And being able to just use your situation and to be able to navigate life is one of the most important things.
Wow, Nigel, I'm listening to both Jessica and Natasha, and I'm thinking to myself that in life we are very often burdened by the weight of our past. The mistakes that we have made, maybe the opportunities that we have missed, the pain as well that we have endured. And it's very easy to get caught up in a cycle of regrets and self-blame, allowing our past to define us and dictate our future. But we have to understand that true strength lies in accepting our past, in embracing it as well, as a part of our journey, and using it as a stepping stone to propel us forward. So I've learned so much from this sad program. In fact, Nigel, when I called them in for us to talk today, ahead of International Women's Day, I had that excitement, and we're going to talk about things and laugh a lot and talk about St. Martin's School days. I know Jesse will bring that up. That was my thinking, and what was happening in Lacuzo Wine, and all the characters in the streets of Rosa around that time, because she would have seen a lot. So that was what I was thinking about. And but God had other ways.
Yeah, man. The universe unfolds as it should. So we have sometimes we have our own thing, but then there's an alignment that we just go with. And we appreciate the journey that was told and the stories that were told. International Women's Day comes up tomorrow. Both of you phenomenal women. What role do you think men play in terms of ensuring that the women continue to do what they have to do?
So I'm enjoying answering this. Coming from two places. I'm an ultimate daddy's girl, So if you see my father vex me or my father talk too hard, I can't take that. I'm a daddy's girl. And I always knew, when I knew I didn't have a mommy, I knew I had a daddy. So no matter what picture they painted of my father for me, I remember going to school once and I was being bullied. Oh, your father is a Rasta and you this and that. The people don't know my father from Adams. I don't even know my father. But I always tell them, don't worry, I have a daddy somewhere in Dominica and he coming for you. Because as this little girl, like a bullying and thing now. So I'm a daddy's girl. And I have a husband. And for me, for my father and my husband are my safe space. And because I want to go home and I want to be able to tell my husband, I have to deal with that and I have to deal with this. That is the way I want to be able to just let go and to vent. So for me, the men in my life have always been a support system. I have a brother. I feel like if I call any of my two brothers, I call Brent, I call Junior, I call them, they are like, the big macho people who can support you, can protect you. And so to me, without these men in our life, especially for little girls, you need that person where you feel like, yes, I have a protector. I have somebody who can cover me. I have somebody who can allow me to be soft. For some of us have gone through, the GBV situations, the violent situations under the arms of men. However, it has not changed my thinking in terms of what men are really supposed to be for us. Like this morning, I posted a little video on my WhatsApp status of my daughter and my husband. They were dancing, and I'm like, yeah, that is what a man is supposed to be to his little girl. That is what a father is supposed to be. He's supposed to be the first person to teach you and the first person that you can run to. So something happened, depending on what it is, I call him my daddy, I call him my husband, I call one of my brothers, because for me, you always need that male figure who's like that safe space, that comfort zone, that backup system. And I believe, yes, women empowerment, yes, women everything, but without empowering our men, without providing that space where our men can really be the men in our life. For me, I say I always want to I just want to vote and I just want to have a say. But I want the men to be the bigger one. I want the man to be, go lift up the heavy thing, do the men things. Not that I cannot, not that if I get a chance I wouldn't be able to move the big TV in this space. But it's nice knowing that you have those male figures who can provide that space where you can be the soft girl. You can go through that era where you can be that soft person. And without our men there, we cannot convert to that. Right? So you always have to be on the defense. You always have to be on. And like I said, yes, I understand that men hurt us a lot. I've gone through my own as a victim of gender-based violence. I understand. I know. However, it's nice having the men there and knowing that they can validate you, they can support you, they can strengthen you to become who you really need to be.
Amen, sister. We are nearing the end, but I want Jessica to just bring some things across for us. Maybe we should have done that at the start, but so many stories were coming out. We were gripped. But Jessica, I wanted to tie in though where you Lacoso Wine, where you were born and raised. In reference to the characters that was in Roseau, can you remember what was happening on Independent? Well, Queen Mary Street. It was Queen Mary Street back in the day.
King George V Street.
Yes, but King George V Street. Yes, but I was talking about Queen Mary Street as well. Bath Road. What was happening? What was the excitement like? In that square.
Well, at the back of our house was a little rum shop. So
yeah, that's it.
So it was entertainment galore. So you had the people like Rita and Veronica and Suk. Quite a few Magafa, quite a few Mr. Deja, quite a few people. And then going through the square, you would meet people like Simbot, Ugly Willie, Harold Makaksida, Rachel, Humber the Zoo, Humber the Za.
Yes. Humber the Zoo,
so I grew up in an era where although we saw these people as characters, but we saw them more as entertainment. For us, they were entertainers. We did not, I personally, I did not look down on them, because even people that know me, like the core that know me, if you come in my vehicle now, you'll find something. You need a pair of shoes, you need something. I always have something. So when nobody is looking, I am one of the people, when nobody is looking, I check out those people are looking down on. And as I say that, it's not for clarity, but for my 60th birthday, I had a street party. I got permission. Yes, I got permission from the police, where I blocked from floor to the top of we church, and food, music, games, and we fed almost 300 people on that Sunday afternoon. That was my 60th birthday party. And it had a lot of the people that people did not want to mingle with, would not have normally mingled with. And some people did not come because they did not want to mingle with those types of people. But for those that came, they realized that we are all just people from different places, different races, circumstances,
different aspirations,
yes,
different places.
And
we are different people, but same people.
What really made my 60th birthday memorable for me, and that day I ate nothing, I drank nothing. I did not know 90% of the people that got fed and got entertained. And in the end, this guy came. Well, I overheard him, but I kept moving away, because that's the kind of person I am. I really do not like to be in the forefront. And he kept walking around and he's asking, who is the person that just decide today, Sunday, there to just come and make life beautiful for others? And I kept walking away, and then somebody came and the person tell me, stop doing that. So he came and he said, but I know you're the lady by we church, I know you. And he said, on behalf of the on behalf of the Paro Association, I want to thank you. I really want to thank you on behalf of all the Paros in Roseau. And I was like, there were Paros then? He said, yes. So you're not seeing us then? I said, no. He said, well, on behalf of the Paros Association, I want to thank you, because, my lady, you do not know when last I had a meal like that. And I was like, no. He said, well, you do not want to know, because it's been a long time that I haven't had a meal like that. And I teared up, because I like to cry. I am a crier too. And I teared up because when I did it because I told myself, I had this whole nice thing planned for my 60th birthday. You know, everything was planned, soup and soca, chucks and pearls and color theme and everything.
And then you changed
about 2 months back, I was like, no. There are certain people that on that list I do not want to want them to sit at my table, and I'm going to have a problem with that. And my little circle was like, no, you need to just forget those things. And I'm like, no. And when I put them to sit down, I said, in truth and in fact, I am the person that I am, without a lot of people knowing the impact they had on me. Because of where I work, I deal with a cross-section of people that I meet daily. Some talk to me, some make noise with me. I answer them, because that is the person that whatever energy you bring for me, depending on what side of the bed or the day, you're going to get it full throttle. And most times I always deliver the hardest because I always go full throttle. And I told my daughter, I'm going to have a table of love. She said, Mommy, a table of love you're going to have for your birthday? I said, yeah. She said, Mommy, how are you going to pull that through? I said, don't worry about that. I'm going to have a table of love. I don't care who come. I don't care who eats at the table. I do not care. I do not care. I do not care. I want to have a table of love. Because even the paros around Roseau has impacted my life, have made me the person that I am. And so I want them to be part of that. And that is what we are supposed to aspire to be as people. Is not always who that give us that we have to give back to. Because everybody give us in their own way, in their own little way. And sometimes we are not even aware of the givers in our lives, which changes our lives. And so that was my way of giving back to those who may have given me or may have never given me, because I met people that I never knew. There were people from a boat that was just walking around that came, who was from Barbados, who was from St. Vincent, who was from America. I may never have seen, may never see these people before, but I know on that particular day, at that particular time, I did something for them that they will always remember because of what they said to me. And so I just want to use this space, this moment now, to just say thank you to all the people who have impacted my life, whether you know it or not, whether I know it or not. And moving forward, come what's me, whatever it is, with all what is going on around us, we need to be more empathetic, we need to be more compassionate, we need to be more patient with each other, and most of all, we need to learn to listen, not to respond, but listen to what others are saying to us, because sometimes our response or your response might just foute the person more enragé. Instead of, so we have to learn to listen. Not when I tell you my knee hurting me for you to tell me mweni or genou too. All of us have two genoux, but my genou might be holding me up differently like your genou. So let us just try to show more empathy to each other and not always be there to bring out the negatives, because my relationship with Natasha cannot be the relationship that you have with me. So do not try to turn Natasha away from me based on your relationship that you have with me, because what you bring, Natasha doesn't bring. So the people out there, if you do not remember anything that I said today, I want you to just remember this one line. The dots of your life always connect when you trust your voice. The dots of your life always connect when you trust your voice.
Wow,
the dots of your life always connects when you trust your voice. Have a good day.
Wow. Nigel, well, on behalf of Connecting the Dots, I want to say on behalf of the Paros Association. On behalf of Connecting the Dots, I really want to thank you to very inspiring program today. I learned so much, and what it also taught me is that the love of yourself has to be stronger than your desire to be loved by anyone else, and you have to show up for yourself first. You have to show up for yourself first, and if you did not show up for yourself, the both of you, you'd not be there to tell the story.
Yes, definitely so. Let me thank the both of you for sharing your story, sharing your journey, and for the phenomenal women that you are. To all the other phenomenal women in Dominica, those who will be awarded tomorrow, Delia and Gloria and Ivona, and all those who will be awarded. To all the moms who continue to hold it down. We appreciate you guys being in our lives. to all the wives and the partners, we appreciate it as well. It is. Thank you, my dear. But to everybody else, to all the other women, you are phenomenal in your own way. We appreciate you. Natasha, Jesse, keep doing what you're doing. More blessings flowing your way.
Papa,
Thank you for sharing.
I hear what Jessica just said there. She just running her mouth with her friend died. Nigel, it's wow. Wow. This is wow. It's ending really sad now because Jessica is crying.
Yes, I know.
Anyway, so yeah, it was a great program. Let me thank all who tuned in as well, and all the comments. Obviously, we can't go through all the comments whilst we are on air, but I always make it my duty to look back at what you said, and I learn a lot from what you say on the comments. And next week again, Nigel, we want to bring some other stories to inspire people. I was thinking that during the month of March, we could focus on women, if you agree. No one then we can bring a man, yeah?
I have zero.
We can bring men as well. We can bring men as well.
I have zero problem with that,
I know we have.
And there are some men out there who actually, are in the role of women now in terms of what they do, traditional roles, if you want to put it that way. But I'm fine because this is the month for women and we celebrate them. We always do.
Oh, yes.
So let's get two other beautiful women and two other phenomenal women, three, whatever it is, next week, and we make it happen.
Yes, we'll make it happen. We have so many women, so many stories that we can bring across. So it's never a dull moment with stories from women. Natasha, thank you as well so much. I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it, right?
I enjoyed it.
We call you Nigel and myself.
I enjoyed it. I would just like to say thanks to, I think it was Yvonne or whoever that suggested that you asked me.
Oh yes, Yvonne,
I was
my friend Garaway.
I was going to say no. Everything in me told me to say no. Every part of my being told me to say no.
Yes.
But just one thing I'd like to leave with, the people out there, just use your story to be there for someone else, because you never know what you're going through. Sometimes it's not for you. And I don't think what I went through is for me. But be there for someone else, because without these someones in my life, I wouldn't be where I am today and who I am today.
So now I have a bigger circle to choose from, because a lot of times when we have the program, sometimes I go to someone I know who is involved in something and I ask them, hey, I want to feature this. What do you think I should bring on? So people like Yvonne, beloved Garaway, Tina Alexander, and there are many others that I always just call. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. We have already gone past the time. I know Major Mistake will not be mad at this. I enjoyed today, and I know a lot of people enjoyed as well. Everybody on Facebook and on YouTube, on Digi Channel 50 as well, on radio. Thank you. Nigel, we'll meet again next week, God willing?
Yes, my dear. Right. We connect again as always,
Right. You take care.
Thanks and praises, and I say yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your ways. I say yes, Lord, yes, and I will trust you and obey. And when you're